Hello everyone, this is Arc3 bringing you another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. And for today, I want to celebrate this momentous occasion with you guys as I am about to farm my tickets for my first GL, and as you can see in my screen, it will be Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Don't be deceived by the relic levels because I've hoarded up a lot of relic mats, as you can see here right now. So I've ordered a lot, so I'm ready to upgrade the last remaining toons to finally start my Galactic Legend ticket farm. So I started back around July of this year with around gear 10 or 11 first order characters, and by the end of September I was already working on the last 5 toons. And today I can now finally start leveling it up or relicking the last 5 characters, so let's do it now. So welcome back, and I have all of my characters ready for the ticket farm. Now if you go to the journey guide, you can see that most of the characters are now ticked, and I can click the battle already here, but I need of course the GL tickets and everything here is checked. So I'm now eligible to start my SLKR farm. So now how did I did it in like 3.5 or 4 months? And what were my strategies in order to be efficient in farming a Galactic Legend so that you can also finish it really fast while not hurting your GP in Grand Arena. So I'll share them right now, so let's begin. The first thing I want to share is finding the teams you can form within the GL farm block and focus on them first. For SLKR, it's important that you farm your crew team. So this will be Kylo Ren Unmasked, General Hux, of course, Sith Trooper beside it, and then Kylo Ren OG, as well as First Order Stormtrooper. Now, these are like the primary characters first, simply because they can form your GAC Arena team. Another variant of this, of course, would be Kylo Ren Unmasked, General Hux, OG Kylo Ren, and then the 2 pilots. The reason for this is because you want to farm their ships as well in order to get the finalizer on top of the bounty hunters. Now, it's important that when you're trying to get the finalizer, you should also be farming your ships. For another example, if you're going for Rey, it's ideal that you should start with JTR, BB-8, Admiral Holdo, simply because of her ship. Of course, it's important to go for the Safari Brothers. That means Resistance Hero Finn and Poe, but don't forget to farm eventually OG Poe because of his ship again that is needed for the Rados, as well as Resistance Pilot. So identify the teams within your GL block and focus on them first. If there are ships, they be a higher priority after your original team. So that means after farming your first 5, you have to farm immediately the characters that have ships so that you can unlock the ship as well that is needed for the GL. Now let's take an example where you are farming a Galactic Legend and the toons that are presented to you does not have a clear team that you have to farm. So in this case, you have to choose the certain characters that you have to farm in this block and focus on them first because they are needed in other teams. So for example, you have to start focusing on Jango Fett because by farming Jango Fett, you'll be getting Houndstooth that is needed for the finalizer, and Executor. His toon is needed for a very good bounty hunter squad, and of course for JMK. Moreover, you can farm on the side General Kenobi because he is needed in the raid. No, sorry, not needed in the raid, but only farmable in the raid, I might say, and he is needed for his ship, which is the Negotiator. So that is why you wanna farm him on the side. And another character that you need to farm on the side is Wat Tambor, which is only farmable in Dark Side GOTB. There are other options as well, like farming Shakti, B-grade, I guess, B-grade clone team, which can be used for the Kiadi mission. And then you can also farm GMY, which is very accessible early on. And of course, now he's needed for JMK. So focus on these toons first that is like needed for, like, you can form teams out of them. So that means in this block alone, you can form Separatists, Galrep, Bounty Hunters, and you can also form a secondary Sep team through Wat Tambor. Now, the next thing I want to share is participating in all of the game modes with gear. So that means all of the events here, do it as often as possible. I know it sucks sometimes, but you have to do it. Every gear you can squeeze out can progress faster in terms of gearing up to gear 12 and eventually relicking them up. Another thing is Conquest. I know it's not the best game mode right now, but you still have to do it because of the gear, regardless if it's easy, normal, or hard. And then do always the raids. Now for the raids, if you're going for JMK or Lord Vader, it's important that your Crankor is on farm. Otherwise, you can like skip this. It helps if you have Crankor on farm, but it's not obligatory if you're not going for JMK or LV. But if you're like just farming SLKR, Ray, JML, then it's highly recommended that you do the Pit, Sith Trio, and N-Tank takedown, simply because every gear you can squeeze out would of course progress you faster in gearing them up. And that means looking for a good guild that does this consistently. So another game mode that you need to do consistently is JAC. So as much as possible, hit Kyber every month, if not at the very least Orodium, simply because of the crystal income and of course the rewards that you can get. So the bigger tokens, or like this tokens, yeah, championship tokens, sorry, I keep forgetting. The more championship tokens you can get here, the better you can farm Kyratex, which can be found of course in the GAC store. Where is it? This one. So let me get this one right now. Especially that Kyratex is like one of the bottlenecks in the game, so every opportunity that you can farm them, do so. Lastly, I want everyone to do their territory battles as much as possible. So that means looking for a guild that is doing dark side or light side GOTB, simply because of the get 2 tokens. And what is the benefit of this? Besides getting the Malevolence and Negotiator, you are actually giving yourself additional room to farm gear 12 plus materials, as well as Kyrotex, which is important when relicking or gearing up characters needed for Galactic Legends. So that's why you don't have to miss this. But if you're still like in Hoth TB, do your best to like find the guild. Well, not find a guild, but progress your roster so that your guild can do dark side or light side Geonosis territory battles in the future. So that is like tip number 2. Kinda lengthy, but something that I need to share. Third tip is to max out your crystal refreshes on your energy. Ideally here, because you want to like farm the gear, farm the characters needed. Not obligatory to like max out the ship, because it depends on your crystal income, but if you have spare crystals, do so, especially here. This is especially true for free-to-play players out there, simply because we're not like always in the top of the arena or like top in your fleet arena. So as you can see, I'm only like top 30 or like top 40 in my fleet, and like within the top 500 range in my squad. So I'm like getting 180 or 85 crystals or more a day. That's why I'm like just focusing on the energy here when refreshing. But if in case I need to like refresh this Cantina energy, I do it depending on my crystal income. I hoarded like 3.3k energy because I might be using this already to start my next farm, which would be like non-galactic counters or like other non-galactic legendary teams. That's like my focus next after this. But as much as possible, max out your crystal refreshes on your energy. Lastly, as a tip, is to relic 0 the toons after every GAC period. So let's go back to SLKR. So if you notice earlier in the video, my characters are like Relic 0. That is because if you Relic 0 the toons, you won't be bloating your GP that much, and at the same time when you're having GAC matchups with other players, it's not that affected simply because they're like looking at your top 80 or 90 characters in your roster. So the more like Relic 5s or 7s that you have, you'll be matched with, of course, players with almost the same roster that you have. And what is like the risk in that phenomenon, or like in that strategy, when you're relicking up almost every toon to Relic 7 or 5, you will be matched up with players with Galactic Legends with, let's say, Relic 7 SLKR or Relic 7 C or Relic 7 Ray or whatever GL that may be. That has been like the case for me for a while, simply because I've been like relicking up certain characters, so that was like kind of mistake. So that's why towards the latter part of my farming, I decided to Relic 0 the last 5 characters that I needed. And a big shout out to Xaereth's video regarding this tip, and of course some of my fellow players in his Discord server. So big shout out to them for this professional tip or pro tip. And if in case you haven't seen that video, I will like place Xaereth's video regarding like the reasons on why you should Relic 0 characters when doing your GL farm video in the description below. And I encourage you guys, especially if you're GAC centric, to join his Discord server, and of course do this pro tip as well, especially if you're like planning to be competitive in GAC. So that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it and learned something new. For those farming gas and other characters, farming guides right now in your screen. And as always, swgoh gamers, may the force be with you. Stay safe and always stay amazing. Bye-bye.